Oh, excuse me. We are joined by Manhattan Borough President Gale Brewer. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and I'll be very brief because you have many people to talk to, but I'm going to talk as an looking at this and an overview. I'm on a cell phone because I'm not in my office right now, to put it mildly. I want to say that, just in my opinion, we all, at least I can speak for myself, want to get to a situation where there is affordable housing, where there is rezoning, where the historic district is maintained, where tenants do not have to lose their apartments, and where I would agree with the previous speaker and others, even those who support the project wholeheartedly, feel very strongly that we should not be incentivizing anything to do with commercial. There are so many challenges to this project. So I think my main word is people like Alex Naratoff, Mike Dekas, Steve Herrick, Zella Jones, and Andrew Berman has contributed. Certainly Elizabeth Goldstein, Aaron Carr, who supports this idea, and the amazing work of trying to figure out how to deal with the JWQA, how to deal with all the concerns of the retail. A lot of ideas have come out of, I don't know, I think I've been to maybe 20 or 30 hearings and discussions on this topic. Between now and when you vote and when the city council votes, we all have to sit down and try to come up with something that is different than the current proposal. Now, I know, people want to try to figure out how to have a broader definition of the arts. People have tried to figure out how people can work in their apartment. People have tried to figure out what is the arts fund. Maybe it's not $100, maybe it's less, maybe it doesn't exist. What is the way that tenants can be secure? How do we make sure buildings are not demolished? What is the challenge in terms of the retail? I think there are some very ideas so that you would still have some as of right, but you would still be able to have the smaller storefronts. And at the same time, if there was some kind of performance-based discussion of retail, then it would make more sense. So many issues have come out because of the great discussions. But what we cannot do, in my opinion, is to wholesalely support this proposal. As I indicated, even the people who want affordable housing and want this proposal say there are just many issues still to be decided. So I'm here to say that I too am still working on my thoughts. I know that I'm very slow. As you know, we've had quite a few of these because you've been just as busy as I am. So I'm talking about the commercial FAR has to be reduced. We have to figure out what we're going to do about demolition and saving tenants. We have to make sure that 2 Howard Street, when I spoke to the administration, I know that they are working on the issue of getting the federal government to give them that site for 100% affordable housing. And I also know, not in the area, 5 World Trade Center, we're trying to get many more affordable units there. That's in community board number 1. We have to figure out what we're going to do about the loft tenants and obviously the WQA, the JLWQA. We do want more arts in the area. I don't know if I don't know what you call it. I call it flip tax. That's the wrong term. When you go from joint work to residential, what should that amount be, if anything? And if it is any money, what is the group? Then make sure it's spent correctly. That works in East Midtown. And then we're also working on all the performance standards that retail operators. There were some good ideas there where both those who are interested in not having some kind of a permit process could in fact get what they need, and the community could still make sure that they have what I consider the smaller mom and pops. We also have to look at, there were some state and national historic designated buildings. We know specifically that if LPC doesn't designate them, it doesn't really make a big difference. So can we look at those? That's what we did when we did East Midtown. 14 buildings were added to the roster. And in fact, the ULIP didn't go through until they were added to the roster. And of course, there are all the quality of life issues that I know the BIDs have been extremely helpful in making a list of, and what their concerns are, commercial waste zone and others that have been very articulately listed. So those are some of the concerns that I have. This is perhaps the largest, most challenging rezoning. They're all challenging that we've all been part of. And I look forward to working with you and the council member to see if we can come up with a program that solve some of the issues that I just listed. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Always a pleasure to have you participate in our hearings, Madam Borough President.